ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
好，那接着下来，我们今天的最后一场啊，来，我们也是我们第一位可以从这个印尼来的我们的第一位外籍生啊 ，Eric， 他要帮我们做他的整个分享他的这个博士论文的一个最后的一个成果哦。那大家都进来了吗？好，来，请。那我们接着就把我们的场地就交给继续，还是请叶宇老师来帮我们主持哈。
好，谢谢，
谢谢。
好，各位委员好，那么 Eric，so we get ready. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So please, your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. And today I want to present my last exam about design for cultural community. And I use case study of Malangan Mask, culture from my home city. So in this presentation, I will part into 7 chapters. Introduction, my motive in this research, and my method, how I apply my method, how I evaluate my process, and the data, and the last one is the conclusion. So here is it. I would like to introduce you my country. This is Indonesia. Oh, welcome, Mary. Indonesia is here. So Indonesia exists from 5 big islands, and I live in the Java Island. And what I discuss is Malangan City in Java Island. So this is Malang City. Malang City has a title as an education city because there is 15 university and more than 34 college. So it means that there is so many students from another region in Indonesia as a local potential tourism gathered in one city in Malang City. And it's also called a historical city because in the city has like 13 historical ancient temples like this in different area. So we can still see what happened in the back days by looking at this kind of ancient temple. And one of the cultural heritage that I want to discuss is Malangan Mask, which believe it's inherited from the kingdom century in Indonesia. And this is all of the Malangan Mask. Consists of 76 characters, and each of them has a story and has a meaning. And all of them has a different story. And Malangan Mask always performs, not only exists from its mask, but also have a value in the dance. So from the dance, the performers can use the mask and dance the story of each character of the Malangan Mask. So that's about the mask and my city. So the second chapter is about my research motive. When I study about design, first I believe that design is not only something that make people say, wow, it's cute. Not only something that make people say it's useful. And also not only for it's profitable, selling in the market and something, but I believe that design can make people say that it's worthy. Because from my professor in the master degree, I learned that science of visual communication design is not only just to fulfill the industrial needs, but also can make a lonely city into the shining city. So that's another beyond than only the decoration. So that's why I believe that design is not only for good looking, aesthetic purpose, not only for good using function, not only for good selling, the business, but also good caring, how the design impact the society and the culture. So the problem in my case, is the time already changed. Back on the day, cultural product is products to fulfill the needs of the daily life. But now, the way of people living is changed, so it's different. So the cultural product that used to be sold in the old days, it's not really no more relevant with today markets because culture tend to have a feature from the long way process the value, and the traditional, the boundaries of the cultural product. But the two-day markets only care what they need, want, and desire. So there is a gap here, big gap, because cultural products tend to be like old-fashioned thing. So by getting what the market wants and the cultural product value, I intend to bridge the gap by design. So this is what I do. When I go to the village and I interview the inheritors, the actor of Malangan Mask, he has two resources of the income, the money. The first by producing masks and the selling masks. But the problem is one mask you need to make 1 week, 1 week long, and the price is so cheap, so it's not really good. And the dance performance only for a particular moment. Not every day they have a dance performance. So, and all of the income divide to capitalize the mass production and to capitalize the dance performance. But some inheritors, when they invite other people to make the mass, most people that already have a skill, they go away and make their own business. So they don't have to share their benefit, just make their own. So we can say that it's not a promising profession. And I can tell that back on the old day, there's 8 villages that still do. But now only 4, because it's not promising profession. Most of the people try to find a new job that have a big money. So I adapt the model from Thailand teaching material, say that inspiration from culture make the idea to implement in the daily life, and we can complete in the brand. And I add one more, how to monetize, how to make a business. So if we see who is behind all of them, so we can see that there's inheritors in the culture, the actor, there's researcher, designer, manufacturer, and the market. So when we go to the inheritors and we learn the culture, the researcher get the data. And designer too, when they want to make a design, they also go and get the data. With the data, designer can make an IP, the idea to make a product, and put to the manufacturer, they get a product, and when it put to the market give advantage, like money, selling something. But the question is how designer can impact to the real culture inheritors here. So we see that inheritors create a cultural product, but designer after have a product also make a design product culture, but more adaptive and more beautiful. So unfortunately it become competitor in the market. So that will be another problem if we only make a design from the culture. So I can state that this part that not every design is a solution from this situation. So my purpose is, first, I want to make the adaptive product from the culture, and second, I want to develop model to involve the local to make an impact, and the last one is I want to evaluate the whole process. Is it what I've done is correct or not? So now the community in the Malang only consists of 3 families that still make this mask. And the big community doesn't have any impact of it. So I conduct a research question, how to apply design in preserve culture and give economic impact. Transform, new culture, market, and what next. So I built a framework. As we see, designer make an idea about the product, and the inheritors should be involved in the process of design. Then it could be a production process, which could be a commodity from the local people. And I expect that this kind of product commodity will give economical impact to the inheritors. So this kind of framework that I would like to do. So the limitation of the research is, we know that there is so many things that we can discuss in the mask, about the product, the mask, about the play, about the dance, about the place, how it impact the people. And I read this kind of in the journal, in my local journal, but from this research I only focus in the mask. So can we see the product is about the mask, the play is about the dance, it's about the village, but I only focus in the mask on this research. And about the mask, as we know that there is 76 different masks. So I only focus into 5 iconic masks. Because why I choose these 5? Because all of the story, most of the story, always involve this kind of character. Which there's a prince want to marry the princess, and there's a third party, and there's the natural people, and also another character that always shown in the performance. So in order to make it more adaptive, I have to turn the visual style into the popular style, like this. So I make I put the feature. The first Panji, the name is Panji, the green, white, red, strong, gentle, and the your spirit. And it's also all of the feature is represent the original mask. And this is my design method. So I conduct this from the Rungtalin and Koshelin journal paper, and I know that they also use the same model. So the from cultural object, I identify what is the feature of the object, and I get the information which I later will be translate into design element that I can implement into daily product that will become the creative product. So there is a 3 step: the future, transformation, and the cultural product. But in these studies, I make some little change from their model. So I add empower a keyword. So I have to make sure that all of the process will involve the local to make it impact to the local. And they also, Rungtalin and Koshelin also put another exploration, not only to make the identification in the cultural object, the future, but they also make the more deep exploration with the physical material, what we can see, the behavioral, the utility, and the spiritual reflection. So in this design process, I would like to apply all of the process with 3 levels of design: the physical, social, and behavioral and spiritual. But of course, we have to remember that I also have to empower the local people. So this is, I make some model that I call it maps. So my method, I apply all here. I translate how to I apply in the product, and the technical practice, I choose which product that I can make to the product, and I have to remember how to make it impact to the social. And this is also another journal of mine. So I write a journal in the 2018 that complete from Rungtalin. So Rungtalin already said the way to preserve culture, arts, by putting some feature to make it adaptive in the market, like A, B, C, D, E, and then I complete with F, G, H, I, G. So that will be very long, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, J. But the idea is, when the Rungtalin say about how to turn art and culture into more adaptive in the market, so I also suggest that there is another exploration about the fairness, gain, humanity, impact, and joy. So in this research, I'm as a designer, I have to think about 2 things. The first about the transformation, which maybe you can follow the ABCDE style, and the second one is about the empathy, how I can make impact to the society by using FGSIG model. So yeah, this is I present in Las Vegas last year. So this is the way to apply it. But from the culture, there is a fairness, gain, humanity, and impact. So in the fairness level, I have to make a fairness exploration, not only for the product, but also for the community, and have to gain the information to define the problem. So the problem is there is no more, so endangered, they will be extinct. And the community have a low income problem. So humanity, for the sustainability, I propose the idea to transform the product and to empower the community. Then how to make impact in the both sides, I expect that there will be cultural preservation when the community have a profit sharing about. So in that way, there will be a joy in the sustainability of preserving culture. Thank you for Paul. Give me suggestion for this. So this I also submit in the IGD design journal. So this first I use map model, technical consideration, there's community and empower. There's two keywords to make preserve. So this is how I apply. I changed Malangan Mask tool into creative product in 3 levels: physical, behavioral, and spiritual. The first physical. In the design level, we have to know that we have to translate, we have to identify what's happened in the mask. And according to my master thesis about the mask, I already make a model that make a detailed exploration about the mask. So in the physical level, I would use the model of maps like this. I identify, translate, and implementation. Then I found that after identification, the keyword is to distinguish. The mask is to distinguish. So the keyword to make a product is to visual symbolic. So the idea in the physical level is, keyword is to distinguish the identity. So in the physical level, I make the concept of the design product like this. So every product, if you have product, will be represent the identity of the personality, like the blood type, like the phone case. If you're a Jersey person, you this one. If you're strong and like a rock music, you can use this kind of character, and so on. So this will be the group A, because I made every level of design 2 group. So this is the first group, and my little brother helped me to design this. So this is the second product, is about the level of local food. So the idea is not only to gather people, to train them to make a mask, but you can just make a business, whatever you want. And I will make you equipment in the one umbrella of the Malangan Mask. So they can sell local food, but still to preserve the mask by the idea of this. And in the behavioral level, I found that in the behavioral level, the idea is, when I identify, I make the keyword to decorate. The mask is to decorate, because some people just use the makeup, but this mask not for to replace the makeup, to make it fast. So the keyword is to decorate. And how I play in the product is fashion accessories, because decoration in the fashion accessories is still the same idea. So the idea is decorate outfit. In that way, I make something accessories from the fashion accessories, like this. So there is from the red mask, green mask, something about, and of course it still fit with the personality of its user. And the second group is about the scarf, because in the mask, the original mask has a scarf to make a movement more beautiful, and I turn the element of visual element into the scarf and make a production of the scarf in the Malangan scarf. So this second group. And the spiritual level, in the spiritual level, when I identify, and I found that the mask usually performs to respect and to remind the ancestor. That's why there is some like a ritual before it's performed. So the keyword is to respect and remind. That's why I turn, if I want to make a product, the product should represent the idea of respect and remind. That's why make a romantic gift, because the gift, romantic, sometimes to respect the moment of particular moment. So the idea to change is, the keyword is to respect and remind the moment. And in the spiritual level, I turn all of the masks into the ring. The idea is actually wedding ring. When you see wedding ring, there's a couple of the princess and the prince, so that's why there is a couple. And there is the red character, the antagonist, the arrogant. He like a party. That's why I make a ring for bottle opener. So the people who like party can still represent by this. And the other thing is a custom mask. So you can choose any mask and you make a custom which mask is really represents your personality, and you put it in. And the last one is about the youth spirit. As I told you, the yellow one have ideas, youth spirit. The young people usually like to travel. That's why I put a compass into ring, so they don't get lost to see the compass. And the second group is to remind and to respect the romantic gift is the pen accessories, because if we go to some resorts, usually pen is a common product to represent that you already come to this hotel, you already come to this conference, something like that. So it can be remind you to something moment. And this case, this pen still can remind. So this is from the formal, from the green character, and this is the youth spirit is the yellow character is represent the young who like collectible, and the couple pen, and also the red one to the red mark. So this the next group. All of the process I used a questionnaire to make an evaluation. In this evaluation, I make some questions in purpose to only evaluate 3 ideas. The first is about, is it the design process, the physical, behavioral, spiritual, is it already according with my idea or not? And the second one is about is it really good to involve local people? And the last one is about how about the business opportunity of this kind. So that's why in all of the questions, I put these 6 questions. It's 2 of them will represent the physical. So the physical level will be evaluated by the chosen modern, traditional, general, typical, and the behavioral, the spiritual, and about how I involve the local. So I have to make sure that this kind of product, is it require manufacturer or it can be done by homemade? It need a special skill or anyone can do that. And about the business level, I want to know that this kind of product, is it still represent the original product? So in that way, we can say that this is the tourism commodity, because if it's no longer representing the original product, it's no use. So how about the local involvement? And how about the people preference, it like or don't like? So this kind of questions. And the way I make a 5 scale questions. So in the left side, if there is a middle line, if the respondent answer here, that's why what I expect, that if here the question is not my expectation. So this is my expecting data result. And the first level, A1, A2, in the design process, there is, as you see, there's A1, A2. Physical should be here, 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 here. And the local manufacturer also has to be here, homemade, and anyone can. And about business potential, it also should be representing and should be involved local, and everyone should be like it. And I use t-test and one-way ANOVA to examine all of the data. So this is what I got. From the area, there's some people, the different gender, different age, and different background. So this is the result from the first group product A. As you can see, in the first physical level product, we should focus on these 2 questions. So I should say that it's already fulfilled my expectation, because the group A1 already modern and typical, and it's also fulfilled the business potential. But there is a problem here, that all of the respondents say that it requires special skill. The second one, the second group of the physical level, the same level, also the same. There is a problem here. I don't know why there is problem here. So in the behavioral level and the second level, we have to focus on these 2 questions. And it's already fulfilled my expectation, even if almost not fulfilled, but still out of the line, so it still represent my expectation. But the same problem is the manufacturer and the special skill. All of the respondents prefer need a manufacturer and special skill. The other group is also the same. Still expect, but this still not really good. And about the spiritual, we should focus in these questions, already fulfilled, but the same problem is here. Yeah, the same problem here. And also this one. So there is a problem there. So this is what I expect from the data, and this is what I get. So the main idea, the problem is the product C2 here is beyond expectation, out of expectation. And almost all of the product need special skill, and most of them require manufacture. So there's kind of problem, because actually this is the main purpose of this research, but unfortunately there's another problem here. But we can see here. So the product A1 and A2, when we put the dimension, multi-dimension scale, it tends to be in the same dimension. But the B1 and B2, it's from the different dimension. But C1 and C2 really dimension. So it means that its level of design, physical, behavioral, spiritual, not only represent, but how the designer can put by their intention. So its level not specifically represent all of one of the dimension, but it can be designed as how designer want. So this one, the P1 and P2 is really really significant. The other is P5 and P6 have the most popular survey. So when I assess by the gender preference, we can see the male preference here, and the male not really different. You can see male, female, male, female. So only this one is different. So female say that it's old-fashioned, but the male say that it's not really actually. So it is by gender, and that's by age. So this is below 20 years old, and this is 21 and 40 years old, and this is the 41 years above. So actually there is some difference here. Yeah, but all of them have some agreement. And this B1, this is the most preference that anyone can make it, and C1 is the most preference that requires special skill here, C1. So we can see that. But from the preference by region, we can see that this is Indonesia, this is Asia, this is other country. So we can see that there is a problem here. The other tend to be the same preference, but here, C2, A2, and C1, there is something interesting here. So in the physical level design, so we can conclude that this is two products, A1 and A2, already fulfilled according to my purpose, because it's about distinguished identity. So it's typical and it's already modern, and it's also represent the original culture. So the design process works. So, and compared to the other product, the product A1, A2 are number one in this area. It's most decorative, most daily use, most manufacturer, something like this. And in the behavioral level, we focus here. It's also fulfill my expectation. So my design, I can say that my design is correct, is as my goals. And compared to the other, it's like this. And about spiritual, also the same. Here. Okay. So, but as I say about the local empowerment, local involvement, there's a problem, because. But first, I want you to know that I only take the data from the background art and design, because they know how the product will be made. So that's why I only choose from them. I expect that they will help me, but actually they don't really help. They steal. say that it's need manufacture and it's need special skill. So is it my research is failed? No, because there is another question that say that can this product involve the local? All of the respondents say that it can involve local. So my argument, I can agree that it still can involve the local, but maybe not about the manufacturer and the special skill. And because they can, and the manufacturer, we can ask the government to supporting the make a tool to support us. And about the skill, we can ask designer to train the local people. Because it's not really as simple as we make design and ask the local people to do. We have to have another action here. Here, the potential business, all of already fulfilled, representing for local and everyone is like. So the finding is product C2 is about technical error, because I expect it's be romantic and popular. When we see product C2, it's actually a pen. Of course, everyone will agree that pen is popular product. So it's not about the transforming the feature of culture, but I'm misleading to choose the product, because everyone agree that pen is a popular product. And about the involving local, I argue that there is need training and local thing, supporting from the local government. And this is potential buyer within gender. So we can see that all of the gender tend to be bi, male and female. So there is no significant difference. We don't have differentiate this product for gender, male or female, no, because all of them want to buy. And the preference of the gender, we can see that product A2 is the most preferred by female, and C1 is from male. And about the age, we can see that below 20 years, the most want to buy. This, the most want to buy one. So all of the age want to buy. So there is no particular differentiation here, only for general age. And preference by age, we can see that from all of the product, A2 is the most popular in this age, and B2 below 20 years old, C1 in ring above 24 years old. So the potential buyer by region, this is I do because I want to know that this is for local, as Larry said that I can make local tourism or international tourism something, so I want to know this. So we can see that in Indonesia, all of the people want to buy, but from the Asia people, they just like, but still there's a potential to buy it. And the other country, they only want, they don't really want to buy. They want, but they don't want to spend the money, something like that. And the last one is about the region. So I can say that Indonesian people prefer this product, Asia people prefer this packaging product, and the other country prefer the ring product. So this is my summary of the research. So I want to bridge the design from the two-day market with design and the cultural product. There's a three keyword: design, actor, and the local. And I make a framework to make the idea from the designer to empower local people, make a production for the commodity, to put it as the economical impact to the inheritors. And I use maps model to transform from the cultural into the new product. And I expect that if now there's only 3 family which only produce mask, so now we can ask another house to make another product. So like you make pen, you make something like that, you make a packaging food, something like that. And but I still suggest, because this is the research is limited, so I require further research for the technical involvement process, the government involvement, the collaboration with the local tourism spot for selling, business model, profit system, and it's about the production, policy, partnership, promotion, price, and people. So all of this will be have to be considered. So my conclusion is, inheritors in this research will be a value of research of value, and the designer could be the conceptor of the product. The local people could be supporting labor. So in that way, we can make the cultural tourism product community using a collaboration, humanity, empathy, ecology, and using the science of art and design. So I will say that in design field, sustainability in preserving culture could be reached properly if there is a fair exploration with the product and the actor. And as David Berman said, that design is not has educated the public. It's not only for decoration, but the strategy, result, and sustainability. So this is my closing statement that design is a horizontal and vertical accountability. We have to be responsible in the horizontal and the vertical way, because in horizontal it could be enlighten the community. In the vertical way, it can be sustainability for next generation. So that's what I think.
Okay, thank you very much for Eric's presentation. So our question will start from internal examiner and then external examiner, and finally will be your advisor. Okay.